Hello, today we are going to discuss about object oriented programming using Java. So, the object oriented programming, the term says that whenever we are trying to implement any kind of task and which is related to the objects, the behaviors of the object, then we go for the object oriented programming. Let us have a look. So, it is said that necessity is the mother of invention. Now, what is the necessity behind this object oriented programming, and what was not there before object oriented programming, what was there? Then if we able to understand that, then that will give us more clarity on this particular topic. So, before object oriented programming, we have particular type of languages. So, those languages are like called high level languages like C and in case of C++. Say for example, any code that is written by help of C or C++, this code is written, this code is called source code. Now, this code source code is written in high level language. Now, there is one translator, there is some translator. This translator is basically generally here it is called compiler. This compiler checks whether this code is written properly or not according to the grammar specified, according to the rules that is specified, and if all the things are correct, then that compiler, which is nothing but a translator, that converts this of source code into its corresponding object code, and that is nothing but the machine language, that is in the form of 0 and 1. Now, this machine code will be executed, this object code will be executed by the help of our operating system. Now, what is the need? What is the problem with this? What is the limitation of these type of languages like C and C++? First limitation is these languages are platform dependent language. Platform dependence means if I have developed the language, the code in Windows machine, then this program only can able to execute in Windows machine. If I able to execute this code in Linux machine, then this code will be executed in Linux machine. Which code? Not the source code, this particular machine code, because the source code is compiled or translated into its corresponding machine code, and machine code is depending on the particular platform where it is developed. So, this is the first limitation of these type of languages. Second one, these type of languages are, so these are, first one is we can write platform dependent. Second one is they don't, in case of C, in case of, because we have another language that is C++, that is also called partially object oriented language. But if we talk about C language, that is not secure, there is no mechanism to make data hiding or some data abstraction features in our C language. So, by that we can't able to hide or restrict some access of the data in help of our C language. So, data is not secure. So, data is not secure. And third one is, as we have a particular application which is implemented in a machine, then we can't able to transmit that code in another machine. That means we can say like the which is we say nowadays, that is called internet. We are executing some code here, from here I am sending some code into another machine through internet, and this code will be executed here. So, that was the another need of developing object oriented programming. So, basic requirements are, there are three basic requirements. One is the platform dependency, that means the program which is developed in one platform that must be executed in another platform, that was the limitation. Second one is that is the data is not secure, we can't able to make the data secure. And the third one is the internet. Through internet we want to transmit the data, the code, and we want to execute that particular thing in our next systems. Now, we have these languages like C, C++ and Java, and first C is a structured language, C++ we can say this is a procedural language, and Java is fully object oriented language. Now, they have some features according to their features, how they are similar according to their features. We have a diagram here. So, we can say there are so many features are there, there are so many features which are available in our C language, and that those features are also in C++, also in Java, and Java having some extra features, C++ is having some extra features. Now, this is a table which I have created here, which shows how these things are related. Okay, so how they are related, we will come to this particular table later. Okay, so let's have a look about the things that we want to discuss. Okay, so say for example, in case of C language, let's have a look about the basic requirement and basic changes in the three different languages. In case of C language, if I have written a C language, here is a particular file. In this particular file, we know some header files are there like hash, include, stdio.h, conio.h, whatever header files are required, we write all these things. Then there are some methods, void main can be a method. Now, variables also can be outside, variable can be inside the method and variable can be outside the method. Now in case of C++, C++ says that in case of C++, and in this case also there is another thing like you can say there is whenever we are trying to declare some structure, in here we just write struct some name A, say for example A, and we can able to store some variable here int x, char y. Okay. So, these are the variables, and now by the help of structure variable we can able to access all of them. Now, in case of C++, this name structure is converted into another name that is called class, and name is A. Now, in case of C language, in a structure only the variables can be present, but in case of C++, there can be variable, there can be method. Okay. So, the variables can be inside, the variable can be outside, and also the method can be outside a particular class. So, structure name is converted into particular keyword that is called class, name is A, name is same. In case of C language, only variables are there, only variables can be there, and we can able to access all these member by help of some dot operator, like we create struct A of P, then we can access P dot X, P dot Y, and this way. In case of struct class, in case of C++, we can able to have the data and the methods inside a particular class, and the same way from another class I can or we can access by creating A of m. Say for example, I am creating some reference variable of m, and by help of m dot I can access x, m dot x I can access, I can assign some value, and also I can able to access the methods. If the method is inside the class, that can be accessed directly by help of creating this one, or we can use some scope resolution operator. Those who are familiar with this we can able to access all there of them can be using this, and outside there is again some package will be there. In case of Java, whenever we are talking about another language, that is Java, in case of Java, Java is a strict object oriented language. So, you can again compare, this structure name is again converted into another name, that is class. Here is also, this is Java. Okay. Inside the class, everything must be there. That means, they must be bounded within a single unit. In case of C, there is method, variable can be outside, again another method, many number of methods can be there. But in case of C++, we have little bit restriction. Here we have structure, here we have the same name, the structure keyword is converted into, or we can say, we just, this name is replaced with the class name is A, and these are the members of this class. Now, here in case of Java language, this particular name is again class. So, struct keyword is here, this is class again, and here we have some method like here variables can be there, variable int x can be there, variable y can be there, and there is one method that is called public static void main, and there is string arg, whatever argument we want to pass, and everything will be written inside this, whatever code we want to write. So, this is the basic difference or basic similarities or common between, or we can say this is like a comparison between three languages, the syntax of three languages. C++ is fully structure oriented language, it is not object, sorry, C language is fully structured language, it is not an object oriented language. C++ is a partial object oriented language, and in Java it is fully object oriented language. So, here if we again try to write a simple Java code. So, how it will be written? It will be written like this. There will be a class, say for example, this is a class A, this is, we are talking about a Java code, Okay. So, class A, this is one class, inside this class I can declare some variable int x, I can declare some method, and here we can have some printing system dot out. I will discuss what are these, okay, dot out dot println, whatever I can want to write CS, okay. Then everything is there, okay. So, inside a class, inside this is the keyword, this is the, you can say this is the keyword, this is the class name, this is the variable or class member variable or member variable, and this is the member method. So, in object oriented programming, every class having, it is like a capsule, So, this is a class which having two properties, one is data plus method. Method is like the behavior. Say for example, we want to so what is this actually? So, the object in object oriented programming, program is divided into number of objects. Say for example, I have some bag, okay. So, bag is an object, okay. So, if I want to map this particular property, then how I will map it? We will map it by help of its behavior, something must be its data, it must be its weight, its color, these are the data property of this bag. Now, how it is behavior, its behavior cannot be okay, its behavior can be its volume can be its behavior. Okay. So, this way we can think about the scenario. Okay. So, in object oriented programming having few properties. So, there must be some property, this property is called polymorphism, this property is called polymorphism. The property must be data abstraction, property will be inheritance, property we are having some objects and having class and having some encapsulation. So, these are the basic property of an object oriented language. If a language have all these properties, then this language will be called as object oriented language. So, first one is object oriented, first is we can say encapsulation, that we have discussed, that is data and method, we can say data or behavior, sometime we say it data or behavior. Okay. So, they can be must be bounded within a single unit. Okay. This is called encapsulation. So, class is what? Another thing is class is like a template, we are creating some template for anything. Okay. So, that must be there is some object whose template we are creating, the template of an object. Okay. Then there must be inheritance. What is inheritance? Inheritance is a property by which we reuse the particular code. Say for example, someone have developed something and we want to just modify few of that particular of the program or software by changing very few parts. So, that can be achieved, that is called inheritance. Then polymorphism says one thing in multiple form. Say for example, if I am trying to calculate the tax for different employees, now rather than implementing different methods for all these employees, if I have some kind of things, that the same thing will be implemented in multiple ways. Okay. So, say for example, the area, this is also area, this is also area, this is also area. Okay. If I say I pass some one value, single value, it is defined that is it nothing but a square. If I pass 2, 3, then I am trying to define this is the area of some rectangle. So, this is property is called polymorphism, single thing in multiple form, area having different form whenever I am passing two values, when I am passing single values, when I am passing integer, when I am passing string, as per the data it will behave in different way. Data abstraction is another property. By help of this property, we basically abstract few things in our data. We will discuss in our next session. Okay. So, whenever we are trying to say, for example, this is an object. So, if I say a football player, a football player is an object. Now, what are the class of particular object? This is the human being, he is a human. So, this is a class. So, class is human. What are the attributes? His height, weight, hobbies are the attributes, object is the name, and the methods run and kick, or it can jump. So, how we will relate this thing in our coding, how we will try to map. So, if we think about whenever we are writing some program, our main goal is to map the real world entity. If I am writing something, I am trying to map that thing in our computer. If I try to map myself in our computer, then what are the things, what are the ways by help of I can be mapped in our program. So, if I want to map myself, so what are the things I can map? My name, my name, my age, my weight, my salary, so these are my data property. These are my data property. Now, what are the behavior? Here we are talking about the methods. My behavioral property, how I am talking with you. When I am with my friend, my talking behavior will be different. When I am in class, my talking behavior will be different. So, whenever I am in different environment, I am behaving different way. So, talking is my property. My reading is my another property. Watching movie is another property. So these are the nothing but the methods. These are the nothing but the methods of any real world entity. Okay. So, here also we will create some class like class will be like human. Okay. Then these are the attributes. So, we will create, we will declare some variable, integer or float, whatever data types are available in this language. So, we will declare the height, then weight, then hobby. So, as per the data type we will define them. Then this will be the methods void run, okay. Then something, then something, then something. So, this will be a total class. So, I have mapped this person in our language. So, object oriented programming means whenever we are trying to map the real world entity as in our programming language, then that is the object. So, the main purpose of object oriented programming is to map the real world entity in computer, and that is the way. And through this path, whatever features are required, whatever things are required to map the object in our computer, all those features are available in our object oriented language Java. Okay. So now whenever we have a particular Java code, how this code is actually executes, or how the translation happens. So, if I have some text editor, I have some text editor. So, I have used some text editor, we write a Java code, and this Java code will be named as, say for example, the file name is A and it will be named as a.java. Okay. Then we will have some compiler, this compiler will convert this text code or the source code into its corresponding byte code, or this file is called .class file. Okay. Then this class can be given to any system. It can be given Windows, it can be given to Linux, it can be given to Macintosh or Mac or whatever operating system we will provide them. There, if we execute that code, so in that machine there is an interpreter available. That interpreter will convert that code into its corresponding object code, and corresponding object code, and that way this language executes, and this is the way by which this language is platform independent. So, text editor is there where we write our code, that is called source code, extension is .java, that code is converted by the compiler into byte code, or that is extension is .class, and by the help of Java interpreter, that code is converted into its corresponding native code or the target code that we are trying to achieve. In Windows it is different, for Linux it is different, for Mac it is different, for different operating system it is different, and for every operating system there is different Java interpreters are available. Those interpreters converts that particular code into their corresponding object code, and that code executes at the end of the day by the operating system. Okay. So, thank you for today. Thank you. In the next class we will discuss the implementation of some program using Java. Okay.